everybody. If you're new here, this channel is designed for helping people who have never heard classic music, want to get into it, or at least explore it, whether you're a YouTube reactor or just a viewer or listener, and want to really know which direction to go, which versions of songs to listen to, etc., etc. And today, like I said, is Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath was one of the 3 or 4 bands who really invented heavy metal. And of those groups, I mean, this band, they just, gave it to all. It was all heavy, heavy rock and roll from the very first song until, well, now they still play. Before we go into this too much, I need everybody to like and subscribe. Please, that's how we keep this channel on the air. And yeah, we want to keep doing this because we've got a lot of bands to go through. Okay, so about Black Sabbath, as I said, this is a heavy metal band, blues rock as well, or at least blues influenced. And in fact, I'd go as far to say that most bands were blues influenced at this point in time. Most people have heard of the name of Black Sabbath, even if they haven't heard the music. And they've also heard of Ozzy Osbourne, the lead singer. And I should point out that Ozzy Osbourne wasn't the only lead singer from Black Sabbath. And even though a lot of bands had a lot of major shakeups in their roster, most of them didn't have significant albums from secondary singers. A few of them did, but Black Sabbath did. The Ozzy years were from the beginning of the band in 1968 until 79. When he didn't leave the band left him. Ronnie James Dio took over from Ozzy in 1979 until 83. Tommy Iommi was the guitarist, is the guitarist, and just an amazing guitarist for somebody who had a severe hand injury and has that handicap when he's playing, but I mean, you would never know it, and it actually adds to his ability to play heavy, heavy songs. Bill Ward on drums. Now this guy, John Bonham may have been the hardest hitting drummer in rock and roll. I mean, just pound for pound onto a drum head, but I tell you what, Bill Ward tried. He tried hard to meet up with that because he could smack the heck out of a drum head. And Geezer Butler on bass. Now, when you see them play live, watch this man. He can burn a bass with his fingers. Just really good. And their first album in 1970 was called Black Sabbath. It was recorded in less than 2 days. And if you listen to this album, that alone is just amazing. Couple of the real standouts from that album is the title song and name of the band, Black Sabbath, and NIB. Yeah, you'll definitely want to listen to those two when you get into, especially if you're a reactor. People will want to hear those two. 1970 put out a second album called Paranoid. Now this was a real breakout album. It's I know this was the first album I heard or bought from them. A lot of standouts on this. War Pigs. War Pigs has a video out, and I don't know if it's the official video, but it's been animated, and sometimes I don't like those, but this one is really well done. It's an anti-war song. Paranoid, also an anti-war song, and it was really written on the fly to Phil, but became one of their best songs. So I mean, again, when you're under pressure and just write something, sometimes the best stuff comes out of that. Planet Caravan is a hidden gem of Paranoid. Definitely listen to that. Maybe not your first song to listen to it, but it's a cool song. Iron Man, again, very well-known song. It's one of them that you will get asked to react to. There's a couple of live versions that are not bad from that. Electric Funeral is another hidden gem. That's just one of my favorites. So, and Fairies Wear Boots. It's a unusual song. I won't say weird song. It's an unusual song, but it's a rocker. It is. In 1971, Master of Reality came out, and this one has Sweet Leaf, which is an homage to the leaf that you probably think it is. Children of the Grave, definitely a good one to react to. 1972 released Volume 4. 3 songs of note there: Wheels of Confusion, Changes, and Supernaut. 1973, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Another one that was really not breakout because they'd already become very famous, but very good album with a lot of good songs on it, including the title song, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Killing Yourself to Live. Oddly enough, Ozzy considered this album the end of the original band, but it wasn't wasn't the end of the lineup. It was just kind of when he, I think, checked out. However, 1975, Sabotage, Symptom of the Universe, and Am I Going Insane? Am I Going Insane, and Radio in parentheses, was another one of those songs that I think is a hidden gem. It's a well-known song, but it's a very good song. In your journey through Black Sabbath, don't pass this one up. 1976, Technical Ecstasy. I think this was probably the last album I bought of Black Sabbath. It was actually odd because I bought it right before Christmas, and then the exchange student that was living with us bought the same album for me, so it was kind of embarrassing. I had to take my copy back out of kindness. What little kindness I had back in those days. But although not critically acclaimed, I like the album. Like I said, I owned it. So I'm going to recommend You Won't Change Me, Gypsy, All Moving Parts Stand Still, Rock and Roll Doctor, and Dirty Women. Out of those, I think Dirty Women is probably the best one. The last album that Ozzy recorded with Black Sabbath was Never Say Die, and very unsuccessful album. I mean, you can probably, like I said, there's not a lot of Black Sabbath that's bad, but that one was not their best album. 1980, start of the Ronnie James Dio era with Heaven and Hell. It was a very good album. Ronnie James Dio did a hell of a job replacing Ozzy. Standouts from the album are Neon Nights, Children of the Sea, and the title song Heaven and Hell. 1981, Mob Rules, very good album. And in 1983, had Ian Gillan from Deep Purple on Born Again. So those are the main albums from their heyday, shall we say. As far as live stuff from Black Sabbath, the YouTube homepage has quite a few clips of songs that I would recommend going through them for most of it. Although there's a Paranoid, and I don't know if it's listed there, but Paranoid music video from 1970 is very good. War Pig's official video with the new animation, like I said, that's definitely a good one, but it's not them live. It's just a good music video to see. And Iron Man from 1970. Also, I mean, this 1970 recordings aren't that good, but it's really cool to see them in that early stage. So again, like and subscribe. It's not going to hurt, believe me, it's not, and it's just going to help me. Next week is one of my favorite bands, one of probably the best female centered, not the whole band wasn't female, but centered band is Heart. One of the best singers ever. So definitely watch for this video coming up in the next few days, and definitely let the good times roll.